Good morning, people. It's Chrissy here again. So, how was your weekend? Did your deep dive come? See last video. Yeah, I didn't get away with it. I had a deep dive. And this morning, I kind of just wanted to, well, I don't know. I don't really know why I'm here this morning, but I'm here. So I'm just trusting that. And I thought I would bring you a different deck today. This is a more psychotherapeutic deck, and it's a very grounded deck. And I'm shuffling, and I'm shuffling, and I'm shuffling, and there's just nothing. And I'm really aware of some kind of emptiness, not like a sad, lonely, pining emptiness, but a void. Feels like a void. And there's no cards coming out. So I'm guided to turn the pack upside down and see what the underlying message is. And God, there's so much coming in on this. Yeah, wow. Okay, so we've got Samhain, the closing of a cycle, the building of the inner cathedral, the peace that got cultivated within. And is that a 19? So 1910-1 is death and rebirth, really. It's the ending of one cycle and the beginning of another. So the void space that I'm feeling tells me that's exactly where I am. All year I've been talking about building the inner cathedral. And I'm just pulling these cards off the bottom of the deck. And the union is the union of self. It's the alignment of the past, present, and future self. It's the alignment of the cognitive dissonance that we've done our kind of training ground in. And once a year I get invited to share a soul journey for a soul group that I belong to. And that makes me go through my journals and just kind of reflect on what the last 12 months brought me. And I kind of want to share that with you today, but phrased as a question. And if you reflect back on the last 12 months, what do you see? Where has your biggest growth occurred this year? Where have you stretched and grown? And the last card, where have you become the fool? You know? And the fool is the soul, it's the beginning of the soul journey. So here we go. We've got the death and rebirth. The building, number 40, the building of the structure of the inner union, the alchemizing of the selves, to move into this full energy who is unafraid to leap and trust, unafraid of how others perceive them, judge them, value them, are mystified by them, love them. The fool just kind of goes along on their journey of individuation and joyful process. So I guess this is a really big question of where is peace? And I had this realization kind of over the last 2 weeks, really, about, and it culminated today when I started to write this piece for Samhain this year. And in one of my meditations recently, I was shown this glaring cognitive dissonance. So my challenge that I offer you today is, how can you step into the highest vibration of a cognitive dissonance that you currently hold? So for instance, a big one of mine is I watch too much TV. Shame. It's that one. But I know that when I'm watching TV, all I'm doing is engaging the frontal lobe, so that I can go off and the rest of my mind can go and work in almost theta state, to do soul work, to bridge between dimensions. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's making that a restful state. So as I go back and read my journals, plural this year, I've written a lot this year, there's not an ounce of lazy in there. I'm actually a highly productive soul worker. I'm a highly productive soul worker. So the cognitive dissonance is when I sit down, I'm lazy. Now that's ancestral programming. Okay, that's productivity addiction, that old nugget. When I look at the truth, free from illusion, which is the words that I've written, the activities I've done, the group work I've done, the facilitative work I've done, the personal soul growth work I've done, that becomes a lie. There's not an ounce of lazy in me. I'm constantly working. So how can we rise and live through the highest recognition, recognition of ourself? So the highest vibration from those two storylines is I'm a highly productive soul worker. So shaming can fall away now. Thank you, shaming, for making me look at that. My higher heart responds to that, and I release shaming for rest. So, let me circle back. I started a sentence a few minutes ago. In a recent meditation, I was given the sentence, Chrissy, if you no longer have to qualify, where are you? And I was in the when this negotiation, when this happens, this will happen. So that was a little bit of destination addiction. I was putting it over there. And actually there is no qualification process. So the cognitive dissonance in there, I think what I'm bringing you today is the recognition of cognitive dissonance in the system. So the cognitive dissonance in there is I'm not where I want to be because I am lacking in some way. So I'm going to put the perceived missing jigsaw piece over there until I can attain it, and that will keep me wanting and hunting. I'm exactly where I need to be, with exactly the tools that I need for this time. I'm the fool, she said with one long grey hair. I'm the crone fool. In full energy. And when we get to a resting phase, and we'll all experience this because the moon pulls the tides and it pulls the body in and out of restful phase. When we move into restful phase, what do we do with that? Do we revel in peace and enjoy the peaceful time? Or do we fill the peaceful time with stuff to make us feel worthy, useful, productive, insert words here? So have a look at that. Have a look at that. The bigger cognitive dissonance of how you engage with a peaceful phase. How do you engage with a peaceful phase? How do you self-care? How do you self-love? How do you self-kind? Or do you make yourself work and do and strive? Can you just relax into peace and listen? Because when the body goes into resting phase, it starts to give up its story when it's not distracted with stuff to do. And sometimes that story is the last thing that we want to listen to, which is why we avoid the pause, which is why we avoid the silence of life. Those beautiful, soft, sweet spots. So that's it. That's the simple message. Coming into peace through the union of cognitive dissonance to achieve kind of embodiment of the full energy, the individuated self that doesn't seek qualification or validation from an external force or body, that can validate itself, that can stand in its own knowing, play its flute and dance through the town, being a fool. Very gentle energy. Okay, my loves, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for your comments from the last videos. And if you like these videos, please like, share, subscribe. If you're new, welcome. If you're existing, thanks for coming back. Yeah, I'm leaving you with my love. And that's it for today. Take care. Till soon.